What guys, Beck is here with The Foster, Season 3, Episode 4, More Than Words. Okay, so this episode picks up with Brandon accusing AJ of stealing his ball, and AJ's like, and Kai's like, what's going on here? He's like, am I gonna tell her or should I? And he's like, not, and he's like, just admit you're gonna steal the ball. And he's like, that's not it. And Brandon's like, you can't deny it. And Callie's like, let him talk. And he's like, I was returning it. And I'll put it back. And he's like, he's not gonna let his dad. He's a Brandon. He's not gonna let his dad get screwed over by AJ. So yeah. So like, what was up with that? And he's like, you're gonna defend him for his action. And she's like, Brandon, he's came back. He's scared. He's like, that's what happens when people do. When they're scared, they steal. And she's like, remember when she first got here? She would have done anything to get you. And like, you would have stole something. And she's like, she would have. And she said that she couldn't trust anyone until Brandon taught her that she could. And that's what AJ did with Mike. I mean, that's what Mike did with AJ. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So Mariana and Callie go to the beach where actually Matt returns and wants to sleep with Mariana. But Mariana doesn't want to sleep with Matt because she's like, so they go to the beach where they run into, where Callie runs into Cole. He has a deep voice, and AJ has to explain what's up Cole about how he's her friend and how he used to bind his chest, and now he can just take off his shirt without binding it. Cole has really come far from what we saw him in season 1. So yeah, I don't know how he got the voice, but I guess it's puberty. I don't know how he got the voice. So he invites Connor, Jude, Callie, and Cole invites Callie, Jude, and Connor to a gay prom. And Callie's like, I was going to go to the movies with Connor and Jude, but I guess we can do this. So yeah. So they go. So yeah. So Dana invites Nate and his girlfriend over for dinner because Lena still has resentment towards Nate for why he had to leave early. Dana wants to forget about it, like she doesn't want it to ever happen. She wants to like make it like it never happened. But Lena, she doesn't. She can't help forget it. Like Dana wants to leave it in the past, but Lena cannot, and that's why she confronts Nate at dinner about it. And yeah, and he's like, actually he started talking about how he used to, like he possibly a balloon, and he took Lena's balloon to make her cry, and he's like he was very awful, and he started what he did. But yeah, but Lena, like, so Lena talked, so Dana's like, Lena, forget about Nate said, but he said to her, but Steph's like, hey, I know, Lena's still hurt by what Nate said, and she's like, and Dana's like, Steph, this isn't it's none of your business. But she's like, you want to protect Stuart, but she wants to protect Lena. Speaking of Stuart's got a new actor. Forgot to mention that. I guess the original actor just couldn't make it for this episode, so they recast him. But anyway, she's like, she wanted to protect Lena. She wants to protect Steph. She wants to protect Stuart, but Steph wants to protect Lena, and she may gone over, but Lena was hurt then, and she still is. Why can't Dana see that? And she's like, I know you're hurt, but he said to her, and Lena's like, hey, when some calls one black person the N-word, that it doesn't just hurt one black person, it hurts all of them. So they come clean about it, and they complain about it, and she's like, they complain about it, about about how he yelled at her and called her the N-word, and he's like, when was this? And she was like, and he was like, did you call his wife that word? And he lied, saying not that he could recall, but he's like, but then Stuart's like, maybe you just don't, maybe you're wrong, maybe you don't, maybe you just, maybe, yeah, maybe she just doesn't remember, but she's like, she remembers, and she's like, it was when he came and he left early, and yeah, and she's like, and he's like, sorry, sorry Faith, sorry Nate, but you're gonna have to leave. And Nate's like, you always picked them over him, and leaves. So yeah, Nate still holds resentment for he's been holding resentment for 20 years. So Brandon and Callie and Cole and Jude go and we meet these two people named Lennon and some other guy. One of the other people is gender queer and the other one's gay. And Jude's like, he's kind of like Jude, kind of like Connor's gay, and Jude's like, he's Jude, and he's like, where are you, Jude? And he's like, just Jude. So basically, he tells Connor, the guy who's just gay, tells Jude that if someone should have told him a long time ago that if someone doesn't want to be identified their sexuality as gay, that means they don't know themselves. They don't know, they're not identified with themselves. So Jude's like, hey, let's get out of here. This is stupid, but Jude's kind of like, hey, I'm having fun. You can go if you want to. So yeah, so Cole basically, Jude, and he's like, and Jude's like, hey, and Cole's like, hey, everyone wanted a girl's name, didn't call him, and now Jude gets to live in a home where he is like responsible, he is loved for who he is. So Jude goes back in, and he's like, hey Connor, I'm gonna stay, cause I'm gay. I'm super gay for you, Connor. You go, Jude. So yeah, Cole almost kisses Callie, and Callie's like, whoa, and he was like, you never saw him as a guy. She never saw him as a guy, and she's like, that's not true. I always saw he was a guy, Cole. He's her idol. She looked up to him, and yeah. So basically, after the prom, they go home, and yeah. So Mariana, let's talk about Mariana. Mariana and Matt leave after Matt's Wyatt at the beach, and he's like, hey, do you want, let's sleep together at his house? And she's like, no, we shouldn't do that. But he also reveals that he's extending the tour, and Mariana breaks up with him because her not wanting to feel like she has to wait for him, and also her guilt of sleeping with Wyatt. So she no longer has no boyfriend. But yeah, so Callie gets her driver's license. Good for Callie, and she's like, hey AJ, Cole was kind of jealous. Cole kind of thought it was a date, and AJ kind of was like, he was kind of jealous. So let's talk about Brandon now, okay? Let's talk about Brandon, because we cannot forget about Brandon, whatever his middle name is, Foster. So yeah, Brandon is doing like a piece for Kat, where she calls it Jejun or whatever that means, and so Brandon decides to prove her wrong, and he plays her, and he puts his feud as a Bach feud, which obviously Carrie is not cool with, because she knows it's a Bach feud, and when she gets caught, and when Brandon, and he's like, and she's like, this is Bach, and he's like, that's why I picked it, and she's like, oh, and Kat's like, oh, come on, you plagiarized, and I'm just gonna cover your ass. Basically, that's what she said, not her words, not mine. But anyway, so yeah, so she's like, and Terry's like, I've had enough to make a joke in this program, and then then yeah, so then he's like, hey, does anyone want to work with Kat? No one, not even Tony. They're like, Kat, you're out. Does anyone want to work with Brandon? And since no one wants to work with Brandon gets kicked out too. So both Kat and Brandon are kicked out of Idlewild. So I think that wraps up this episode. I thought this episode was really good. Remember to watch my Lucifer review. Just got uploaded after this one. I enjoyed. Yeah. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Hope you have a wonderful night, evening, and I'll see you next The Fosters.